Hey there, Karen Clay here, Somatic Unwinding, the Feldenkrais Method. Here's the last lesson in the Toolkit series. This is called the Starfish. It's everybody's favorite lesson. It's so yummy. So let's start. Come on your back and take a sense of what it feels like now, today. Not like, oh yeah, I've already felt this. I've done this. I've done this one already. I don't need to do it again. This is like scales for a musician. This is like pliés for a dancer. This is like the mantra for a meditator. It's the same thing that you check in with every time you do your practice. So how are you surrendering into the floor at this moment? Can you feel yourself melting towards the floor, or do you feel as if there's some unconscious thing that's kind of holding you up against the floor? And is there any way that rather than fighting that impulse to try to push the tension away or shame the tension away, if you could just find one place where you can feel the floor and just let yourself taste that weight and how that weight is surrendering into the floor. And then let's please begin by rolling on to the left side. You're going to reach your right arm towards the wall above you and rest your head on your arm. Your both knees are going to be bent, one on top of the other, and you're going to have your elbow on the floor. So the first movement is just what happens when you begin to slide your top hand, that's your right hand, in the direction of the wall above your head. And then let that go. Very small movement. Just begin the movement. And what happens? Does your head move? Do your ribs move? Are you rolling over the ribs on the bottom side, on the left side? Is this beginning, the beginning movement of rolling onto your back? Could you imagine rolling yourself onto your back from here? So do that 10 times. And then what happens if you begin to slide the top leg down? It's a completely different movement. They're similar, but you'll notice that that movement seems to take you in a different rolling. It seems to roll you forward rather than rolling you back. Or maybe for you it does roll you back. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just discovering the cascade of sequence, the cascade of information, the cascade of sensation that happens as you initiate a movement. So do that 10 times. And then reach your top arm again, but reach it a little further and follow it with your hand. So as if you want to follow your fingertips, you reach further. Your head will probably move a little further backward on yourself. And then reach the arm and the leg as you follow the arm. Almost to the point of rolling onto your back, but not quite. And come and fold in again. So it's just this very light, soft. Keep the foot on the floor, keep the hand on the floor. Reach and look, start to roll behind a little, maybe teeter-totter there a little bit between your side and your back. Come again. Now what's happening to your pelvis when you reach your leg down? Can you feel that your pelvis moves in some way, and that when you reach with your arm, your pelvis moves in some way as well? Good. So now roll please onto your back and make the shape of a starfish or an X. So your legs are wider than usual, your arms are wider than usual. They can be up at a higher angle if your shoulders are comfortable. Mine are not. So I'm going to make my arms a little bit lower and slightly bent. And would you please begin by reaching through your left arm along the floor. And then let go. And notice what happens to your torso. Notice what happens to your head. Does your head go towards the reaching limb or away from the reaching limb? Oozing like an amoeba. So this is not about making progress. It's not about doing the movement perfectly, because the movement is pretty much almost nothing. The movement is a way to generate sensation for you and for you to follow it. Do you feel the reach moving into your opposite hip, into the right hip? And now switch to the other arm. So the right arm is reaching. Does your head follow or does your head roll away? What do you do? Do you roll across your shoulder blades on the floor? Do you roll across the middle of your spine across the floor? If you don't, then don't worry about it. The question may have been answered asked prematurely, and maybe in a few more tries you'll start to feel that sequencing cascade through you. Now reach from one arm to the other. So you can feel the thread between your two starfish tentacles, your starfish legs, as you teeter-totter between a right reach and a left reach. Do that 10 or so times, and then come back to the center, and if you wish, just take a rest. Do whatever you need to do, and when you're ready to come again, and this time reach along the floor with one leg. And instead of reaching like pointing your leg, like kicking a ball, could you reach by oozing your leg along the floor? It's about a 2-inch or a 1-inch reach. But the question is, what's happening in the hip joint? What's happening in the inner thigh? What's happening in the pubic bone? And you feel the pubic bone on that left side reaching down, that right side, excuse me, reaching down on that side. And then what happens on the other side? So slowly reach, oozing out along the floor as if it were viscous. And then reach the right leg and reach the right arm and reach the right leg and reach the right arm. Very small movements. Reach the left arm. Reach the right leg. I think I'm saying the words wrong. Reach the right arm. Reach the left leg. Reach one diagonal and reach the other diagonal. Now, please bring your left elbow and your left knee towards each other and reach them long. Left knee and left elbow together and reach them long. Now, as you close on the left side, sweep your arm and leg overhead and come into a fetal position, which is where we started the lesson. Then you reach the top arm and leg, following the arm with your head, open into the starfish. Fold your left side, come back around and close. I'm just going to do it on one side first. So the right arm and right leg reach across. follow the arm with your gaze. You come open like a starfish. You close back in the same direction. Open out. And now go the other direction. So here's the delicious part, where you get to play with one arm, one leg, open, one arm, one leg, one arm, one leg, close and close. So that the movement is rather than being all at once, it can be the leg leads and the arm follows, and the leg leads and the arm follows. Or it can be the arm leads and the leg follows, and the arm leads and the leg follows, and the arm leads and the leg follows, and the arm leads and the leg follows. Or it can be pop, pop, pop. Fingertips never leave the floor. Feet never leave the floor. So really own it. Really let it be yours. Do it in such a way that it's really, really delicious for you. Thanks for watching.